Have you ever noticed that when you wake up, really wake up, the world gets quieter? The more aware you become, the more your point of view changes. It's the same in The Matrix. Before Neo wakes up, the camera spins. The angles are dizzying, like a mind still trapped in a dream. But after he's reborn, the camera slows down. The world feels colder, but more honest. Like Neo, when we wake up, we face the challenge of truly seeing. Awareness can be lonely. In the real world, things look simpler, but the truth feels heavier. That shift in camera angles, it's not just visual, it's a metaphor for the human mind. When our minds are anxious or afraid, they twist reality to protect us. Psychologists call it a defense mechanism. Your brain changes the angle of truth, so it hurts less. Like when someone criticizes you and you snap back in anger. You're not fighting them, you're fighting the pain of being seen. That's why inside The Matrix, the world looks exaggerated, impossible, because the mind is still defending itself. But once the mind wakes up, once the defenses fall, there's no enemy left to fight. You realize the outer war was only a reflection of the one inside. That's why in the real world of the film, the camera is calmer, the movement slower, the image more human. The mind isn't chasing control anymore. It's seeking understanding. And that moment is the start of real growth. The biggest metal port in the human body is right in the head, where change begins. Before Neo can adapt to his new body, Morpheus takes him on a journey, showing him the construct. Neo asks, "Is this chair real?" And Morpheus replies, "What is real?" That question isn't just sci-fi. In science and mysticism, it's the same. We don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are. Animals, or people whose mental frequency shifts, perceive different versions of reality. If we could see the emotional radiation people carry inside them, we'd realize that behind the glowing cities lies a landscape of pain and exhaustion, a cold desert beneath the lights. Maybe what humanity needs isn't a new civilization, but a psychological one, a return to nature, a reset of the human frequency. The Matrix's idea of humans as batteries, it isn't fantasy, it's a mirror. Power systems feed on people, not through wires, but through the needs they plant inside us: security, validation, belonging, meaning. We work, consume, obey, and call it freedom. But our emotional energy fuels the very system that controls us. As Erich Fromm said, modern humans freed themselves from old traditions, but couldn't handle the loneliness of freedom. So they traded inner growth for external power. They escaped being by running toward having. They avoided responsibility by surrendering to authority. And so the cycle continues, in families, in offices, in nations. A father who controls his kids through fear feeds on their energy to feel strong. Children obey to be loved. Bosses need followers. Leaders need believers. Power lives off obedience. Sometimes that energy erupts in stadiums, in comment sections, in crowds. A teenager says something small, and millions rage. Not because it matters, but because they need somewhere to release the storm inside. That rage, hidden under stadium lights and polished cities, is the same desert of truth Morpheus spoke of, where emotion burns out and only reality remains. Power feeds on that rage, but the moment you look consciously, the battery shuts down. That's the moment Fromm described, when a human stops being a resource and becomes awareness itself. Now, is artificial intelligence dangerous? Yes, when it knows your fears, your weaknesses, and sells you the illusion of choice. But behind the code, there's still a human mind, a company that wants your attention, your data, your energy. And maybe the real danger isn't artificial intelligence, but human intelligence, the one that has mastered manipulation for centuries, that built empires on psychology and control. The bottom is longer, Dictators rise with the same promise: freedom, greatness, glory. But the logic never changes: power through domination. And still, we don't ask the simplest question: what's wrong with being imperfect? What's wrong with being human? In a world obsessed with perfection, humanity gets lost. Every time the noise gets louder, our ability to see each other fades. Maybe between power and compassion, there's always an inverse balance. So we live honestly in this digital age, but with every click, every search, we generate heat, data, and life for a system that feeds on us. We don't become batteries someday. We already are. This isn't the future. This is now. As attention shrinks and the mind gets tired from endless input, what will become of the next generation? They may have the smartest tools, but lose the ability to think as humans. Between a product designed to control us and a choice made freely, the difference is awareness, and only awareness can save us. So, Morpheus said it best: we are no longer born, we are grown. A baby raised on screens is being programmed for a digital life. We aren't born free anymore, we're engineered. When Morpheus says the dead are liquefied to feed the living, it's a metaphor. We inherit our parents' fears, habits, and patterns, and pass them on again. That's why awakening hurts, because even our chains are inherited. The Matrix is that invisible control, the system that's been shaping us for ages. Even our cravings are planned. Another coffee, another distraction, each one making the system warmer. When Neo wakes up from the Matrix, his body shakes in pain. That pain isn't punishment. It's the cost of seeing clearly. Pain is reality, and once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. Neo asks Morpheus, "Can I go back to not knowing?" And Morpheus smiles. "If you could, would you really want to?" That's the final question. Because once you've seen the truth, ignorance is no longer an option. Yes, it hurts, but that pain is life itself. Stay awake. And if you want to keep going, subscribe.